thing. I'm here to talk about my birth story. And I also have clothes that need to be folded, baby girl's clothes. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to fold clothes and talk about how our birth story and what happened. So basically, so I was 37 weeks and 6 days, from 37 weeks and 6 days when I had her. And so literally, like, I was really swollen. I started swelling probably at like 35 weeks. I started swelling. And so, I was planning on working until I had her, which is what happened. But I was planning on working till my due date. Like, literally, that was my plan. And so, literally, though, I literally go to work. And not that I wasn't feeling well, but I was feeling like a little off. And so I like talked to my boss. I'm like, hey, this might be my last week, which kind of bummed me out because one, it made it real that I was really about to have a baby. And two, because like, I don't know, just change, like shifting into a new era of like being a mom was a little overwhelming. Exciting, but overwhelming. And so I was like, hey, I think this might be my last week. And keep in mind that same day I have my 37-week checkup. That same day. Keep that in mind. And so she's like, super understanding. I work with great people. My boss is great. So anyway, so I leave. I told her, I was like, but I'll let you know, after I leave the doctor. Because when I went to the doctor the week before, I was a centimeter and a half or 2 centimeters dilated, one or the other. So I was like, maybe it's crunch time. Maybe I should just focus on getting stuff ready for her and like, getting myself ready. Because I feel like, sometimes in life things just move so fast. So anyway, so yes. And so I go to the doctor. I work in Little Rock, and I live in Conway though, so I came here to Conway to my doctor, and basically they checked my blood pressure, and I'm talking to them. So keep in mind, okay, so one, like the day wasn't a bad day. That morning I was feeling like a little off, just something wasn't right, I don't know. I don't know if that was the Holy Spirit talking to me or what. But I was just kind of feeling a little off or whatever. And so I'm talking to the nurse. So I'm like rambling, I'm like all over the place. But when you're pregnant, at least for my doctor, every time you went, you'd have to give a urine sample. So literally, I'm there by myself because Cameron's at work. Because normally he would like always come to the appointments with me. But like I was like, you know what, don't come. It's just a quick checkup. No ultrasound or anything. As far as we know, baby girl is healthy. And so I was like, just go to work. And at the time, he was driving for Amazon. And so I go and I have to so normally I have more help with me because I'm pretty big. And so obviously it's harder to move around, to see over my belly. So I go give the urine sample, right? One, I dropped the pee cup in the toilet. Okay, and the toilet is an automatic flush. So I'm like, dang it, I dropped the pee cup in there. So I get up to maybe get it out. The toilet automatically flushes. So I'm like, great. So it literally flushes the cup. Like, the cup is flushed. So I'm like, great. This toilet's about to be clogged. I was like, let me just give this pee sample and go. So I get another cup, because they have the cups in there, to give the pee sample. I literally, I get the sample, I get the pee in the cup. But then when I get up, I literally waste the pee like on my underwear, on my pants. I'm stressed, okay? So I go in there for my checkup, and I'm talking to the nurse, and she checks my blood pressure, and it's like 145/90. And she's like, uh-oh. And I'm like, oh, what? And then she said, you're trying to have this baby today. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, your blood pressure is high. And so she's like, well, let me just let you sit, because I tell her about what happened in the bathroom, because obviously I'm stressed from that, sweating, hot, everything. And I had pee on my pants. So I'm walking around with a jacket wrapped around my pants with this big belly. So embarrassing. So I was like, that might be why it's high. Well, she said, okay, well, I'll leave and we'll check it again. So after a while, I'm on the phone with Cameron. She checks it again, and it's even. She checks it again with the automatic, it's high. So then she checks it manually, and it's still high. So she's like, yeah, you're trying to have this baby today. So she was like, I'm going to let the doctor know. She said she may send you home, but more than likely she's going to send you to the hospital, which they're like both connected. So she said she's going to send you across the street to the hospital. And if your blood pressure doesn't go down, then you'll probably have this baby today. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't planning for this today. And keep in mind, my blood pressure has been fine the whole pregnancy. Like, I was tracking my blood pressure since I found out I was pregnant, and it was always normal, perfect, never high. And then all of a sudden, it started spiking. So the doctor comes in and she's like, your blood pressure is a little high. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And she was like, well, and she did exactly what the nurse said she was going to do. She sent me across the street to the hospital. I had to go to triage, to labor and delivery. And she was like, we're going to, monitor you. But if your blood pressure doesn't go down, we're going to induce you and you're going to have this baby. And keep in mind, I'm just like, well, obviously this baby's going to come today because my blood pressure isn't going to go down. I'm freaking stressed. My baby daddy is a freaking in Pine Bluff delivering Amazon packages, and then like the Amazon place is in Little Rock, and so I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like on the phone with Kevin the whole time. I have to drive myself to triage. I check in, they have to give me they're checking my blood pressure. They're like, they had to give me an IV. I hate needles. But the nurses were really nice. They were really understanding, really nice, really calm, obviously, as they shouldn't be anything, but, I should go on freaking out. And they won't even, tell me what my blood pressure is, I guess, because, which makes sense, because, if they're like, oh, it's still high, then you're going to be stressing and your blood pressure's still going to go up. So I'm just trying to be calm, talking to Cameron on the phone, and I didn't want to, call my mom or anybody, because I didn't want to stress them out for no reason. So basically, I'm probably in there for an hour, and I'm on the phone with Cameron still. I'm like, Cameron, you need to come bump them packages, because we might be having a baby today, and I do not need you. If they ship me to labor and delivery, I don't want to be there myself. And so he's like, yeah, I'm on my way. So I'm on the phone with him. He's like, heading to Conway, coming from Pine Bluff. And yeah, and so basically they tell me, okay, you're gonna have to go, we're gonna put you in a room, we're gonna room you, and you're gonna be induced and you're gonna have this baby today. And obviously, they were like, are you okay with that? And obviously no, I was not. I didn't really want to be induced, because I really want to try to have my baby naturally. And when you're induced, the contractions are a lot more intense. And also, I just wasn't trying to, I didn't have my bag with me, nothing but God, because the night before I told him, we need to pack this bag just in case. I don't want something to happen. Not even thinking about the appointment the next day. I was just like, let's just go ahead and pack the bag, because I may go into labor eventually. Well, I didn't go into labor, but I was about to have the baby, but our bag was at home. We had nothing. I'm still in scrubs. We're not prepared at all. Cameron's in his Amazon outfit, a lot going on, okay? So they put me in a room. Cameron literally makes it just in time. Literally, he makes it when the nurse comes in and says, yeah, we're gonna put you in, you're gonna get induced. So thank the Lord that he got there just in time. No speeding ticket or anything. But yeah, so then we're in a room, and they were like, okay, we're going to give you, the doctor comes in. Thank the Lord my doctor was on call, so she was with me, and got to deliver my baby and everything. And so she's like, okay, we're going to give you, I always forget the name. I always want to call it cytokine, but it's not cytokine, so forgive me because I'm saying it wrong, but it's I don't remember. It's Cytica. Cytico, I don't know, something like that, but it's a cervix ripener. So it ripens your cervix. And so basically I had to take it orally, and they had to insert it in me vaginally. I look a mess right now. Literally, I came for a checkup, like my weekly checkup, since I'm in my third month, my 9th month. But my blood pressure was high, and so they were like, okay, we're gonna send you to labor and delivery. We're gonna keep monitoring your blood pressure, and if it doesn't go down, you may have to have this baby tonight. And of course, Cameron was at work. You know, of course, he wasn't there, but he made it here like just in time before they put me in a room. But my blood pressure was high, and so, well, it wasn't going down. Which, I mean, I'm like, how can, I mean, it's kind of like knowing your blood pressure is not going to go down, because finding out you may have a baby today and you weren't even prepared freaks you out even more. So, yeah. So basically I'm getting induced, which is not ideal, but you know, as long as she comes healthy and we get to go home, that's all that matters. But she'll probably be here tomorrow. We'll have a baby tomorrow. Nothing is ready. Literally, our hospital, like the hospital bag, I had to make Cameron help me with last night, because he was like, we'll just do it later. And I'm like, no, we need to just go ahead and do it now. My car is not clean, like nothing. But she said that he could get me some dinner, so that's good. And then Tyra's headed to the house to like get my bag and stuff, because she has a key. I'm gonna try not to get the epidural, because I really wanted to try not to, you know. But with getting the cervix ripener, I had to lay down for the whole 4 hours. Like, so I basically had to lay down for about 8 to 12 hours. And I couldn't even, technically when they would insert the pill, the cervix ripener in me vaginally, because they were doing that, I couldn't get up for 2 hours. I had to lay down for 2 hours straight. And so I had to wait 2 hours after getting it to go to the bathroom, or else they would have to give me like a bedpan or something, and I really didn't want that. It's currently like almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully y'all can hear me, but I haven't really been able to sleep. Just I've been taking like short naps. I'm having contractions still, and I'd say right now the pain's like a 4 or 5, you know, but they're gonna start running Pitocin at 4 in the morning, so like in another hour. And I'm just like, maybe I should get the epidural, because since like my feet are swelling and my blood pressure is high, like basically I'm going to be bound to the bed. And it's like no point in just like laying here in pain. You know, it'd be different if I could like walk around and move on the ball and like slow dance with Cameron and stuff, but I can't really do that. So I don't know. You know, I just feel like, again, if I'm gonna be laying here in pain, I might as well get the epidural. Like, might as well, you know. But I don't know. I'll keep y'all posted. Cameron's asleep, as he should, because us just both being awake is pointless. So he's asleep, I'm awake, and I just read my Bible, been praying, been on my phone a little bit, you know. So, yeah. Anywho, I'll check back in later. So I was like, I'm gonna just hold it for every 2 hours to go to the bathroom. So basically, I stuck out the contractions till 4 in the morning. Like, I will not forget. It was on. I was about to get the next round at 4 in the morning of the cervix ripener, and I was having like mild contractions. Like, I couldn't sleep through them, but I could like breathe through them. I could lay down, and they were gonna give me something to go to sleep, but it was a sedative, and I really didn't want a sedative. So I was like, no, that's okay. You know, maybe I can go to sleep, but I couldn't. But you know, whatever. And so I was thinking about it. I was praying about it. And I was talking to Karen about it, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get the epidural. And he was like, really? You think, like, is that what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, because there's no reason to lay here in pain. You know, like, technically, to get through, like, a natural birth, you want to move, you want to dance, do whatever, hold on to your partner. She's crying. I'm not going to flash you, I promise. So I was like, there's no point in laying down in pain, because again, like what I was saying, when you want to give naturally to get through the contractions, you want to switch positions, like whatever is comfortable to get you through them, walk around, dance around, whatever. But I could not do that because I had to lay down the entire time, even up to getting the Pitocin. And she was like, well, if you're dilated past a 3, we won't give it to you. But I wasn't. So she still had to give me the cervix ripener that next time. So it was almost 4. I was about to get my second round of the cervix ripener. And I told the nurse, I said, okay, I'm going to get the epidural. And she was like, okay. And I kid you not, I don't know if this little girl was like, all right, you can have this, we're going to kick it in high gear. I don't know. But I kid you not, after I told the nurse that and she walked out of the room, my water broke. And it scared me because it was literally just profusely spewing, right? You know, like I knew it would be a lot, but I didn't know it'd be that much. But it was profusely spewing. I was like, Cameron, I'm pretty sure my water is breaking. And as soon as my water broke, I was experiencing sharp pain. I got this super sharp pain. I threw up. Once my water broke, I think my body kind of went into shock, and I was having terrible pain. So I literally was like throwing up. Cameron was like right there through it all, like helping me. I'm like, what is happening?
So it's almost 5:30 in the morning. Water broke around 4:20.
4:20?
Got the epidural about
Right after.
like 5-10 minutes later. It kicked in, but baby kind of had some problems in there. Her environment kind of changed, so the nurses got her back stable, got Charla on some oxygen, so hopefully it won't be too long now. And they're letting Dr. Pullen know what all has happened. So just patiently waiting.
Once my water broke, it was like, I can't see me. Once my water broke, I was having like terrible contractions. Like I threw up and everything, because I was like it was just hurting so bad. But I don't feel anything now, praise God. So now I'm about to get some rest.
See you later. And
then the nurse comes in, right? Because I don't know if the other nurse told her. I don't know why another nurse came in. I really don't remember. But she was like, well, let me check you if you're throwing up. And I was like, honestly, ma'am. And I literally said just like this. I said, honestly, ma'am, I'm in a lot of pain right now, so I don't really want to be checked. And she was like, well, you know, sometimes women, when they throw up in labor, that means that the baby is like all the way there. Like they're in the end game. And I was like, yes, I know that, but I don't really want to be checked. And she was like, well, I don't want us to give you the epidural if you could just push it out now. So I lay down. She checks me. I'm literally like 3 centimeters. So I'm nowhere along. And so she's like, okay, which I mean, I wasn't just mad because I understood where she was coming from, but I was in a lot of pain. And like getting your, I don't, you know, if you've never been pregnant before, like getting your cervix checked is not pain free. It's very uncomfortable. And then put that on getting these stabbing contractions is not ideal, right? So anyway, So I get the epidural. With the epidural, like it was just a little sting for me. It really didn't hurt bad. The contractions hurt way worse. And even like when I was waiting for the kick in, I was like, when is this kicking in? Because I'm still in pain. You know, I was still saying like, ow. I was still breathing because it takes a while for it to work. And honestly, it scared me. The epidural always scared me because I don't like the idea of like being paralyzed in a way, like feeling paralyzed. But I could still move my toes. I could still move my legs. I was just kind of numb in the pubic area, honestly. I wasn't really just like no feeling in my legs and stuff, but you're not just super numb because you can feel pressure. So anyway, so they gave me the epidural, and then I was hoping I could sleep, but I had so much like anxiety, so much overwhelmedness, because I'm like, man, the baby's coming, you know, like trying not to like be overwhelmed by birth and just everything that was going on. I just had a lot of thoughts running through my mind. That's the shortest way to say it. I had a lot of thoughts running through my mind. And Cameron couldn't sleep either, so I didn't get any sleep that night. And then it's like 8 o'clock. And 7:30, 7 o'clock, 7:38, I don't know the freaking time. It was in the morning. And I don't know what time they gave me Pitocin, but they gave me Pitocin sometime in the morning. And then probably like 30 minutes to an hour later, they came to check me, and I was at a 9. And they're like, okay, yeah, like you're about to start pushing, and I'm feeling pressure. And then my doctor comes in, and we start pushing. And let me tell y'all, like, I don't know, but no one tells you about the pushing. Like, everyone tells you to get through the contractions, but pushing, it was hard for me, especially since I had the epidural. So I technically couldn't feel her like coming, you know, like I could feel pressure. I could feel when the contractions were happening, like because the pressure would come, but I could not feel her progressing down. So I struggled kind of knowing where to push. So when they had to get a towel and pull forward one way, and I had to pull back just to like get her down. And so I pushed for like probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it seemed like forever. And I didn't think she was gonna come. I thought they were gonna have to cut me open, because I was like, I'm doing terrible. I suck at pushing. I was like thinking to my head, I'm so sorry, baby girl. I'm trying to get you out, but for some reason, like, it's not going. But yeah, and after about an hour and a half or so, she came. She was 8 pounds, 1 ounce. She had a little trouble breathing when she came out, but she started breathing on her own. Cameron got to cut the umbilical cord. I did not cry. I was exhausted. I was so tired because I didn't sleep any that night. And then I was so exhausted from pushing. I was literally like falling asleep that whole day. And I think Cameron was tired because so much had happened like so fast, you know. It was just an ordinary day at work, and the next thing I know, they're telling me I'm having a baby that day, you know, which I didn't prepare for. But that's what life is. Life is unexpected. And so basically I had preeclampsia, and my blood pressure was fine the next day. Like when I gave birth, my blood pressure was fine. But then the next day my blood pressure started spiking again. So we had to stay in the hospital 2 extra days. Which was honestly really sad for me, because, you know, you always want everything to go well, and I was so thankful that Azalea was fine. But it was so sad because I wanted to like be the best I could be for her, and I felt like I couldn't be because my blood pressure was high and we were still in the hospital, like because of me, you know. But it's okay, you know, sometimes things happen that you don't expect. But, you know, I thank the Lord that we got to leave the hospital healthy, and I got released on medication, and I'm slowly weaning off the medication. My blood pressure has been good, and Azalea has been good. But that's our birth story. I'm just thankful that, you know, she was okay, that I released okay. And, you know, it just goes to show you that you can plan all you want. But sometimes the Lord has different plans, but I believe, you know, all for good reason. But this is her, Azalea Jane. And a lot of people think she looks like me. I don't really see it. But me and Tyra official. Don't make that face, girl. She's like, Mom, I'm trying to nap. A lot of people think she looks like me. I don't know, but me and Tyra have a triplet now. Are you my triplet? She's so tired. We had a long night last night. But yes. So shout out to all the moms out there. But thank y'all for watching, and more videos to come. Huh? Yeah. Say bye, sweet girl. Going home.
We out of here.
We're going home.
Say hi, mama.